All right, welcome to Jack Dodson'S Racing Insider News this week. We got to thank Papa John's for dinner tonight.
And they were here early tonight. I want you to know they were here early.
Man.
They were here way before you got here.
I know. I come in the door, Jack's all eating. All right, we got to thank our marketing partners. We really got to thank GAC, Great American Company, Garamo Amaya. You got to thank him for being on for a few years now. What are you laughing at? Papa John's for providing dinner. We really can't thank them enough for providing dinner for us and all the guests that come to the racetrack.
Yeah, right.
Fluid Logic and Factory Canopies. Todd, really got to thank those guys. Those guys have been with us for a little while now.
Yeah, been with us from the start.
VA 811, call before you dig. Tim Brown at Slinger Speed for coming on board this year. Got to thank those guys. So if you need a lot of motorsports apparel merch, Tim is one of the guys.
Yeah.
The show is presented by Gen X Racing, Gen X Motorsports. I've been saying racing this whole forever.
It's Gen X Motorsports.
I hope they don't dock our pay.
No, they won't dock.
Gen X Motorsports, driver development and race rental program. So they have a nice program. You know, for you guys that want to get involved and don't have the equipment or the know-how, you just write a check. I mean, it's just easy as that.
That's exactly right. They'll be glad to help you out any way they can.
Black Acid Racing Apparel. Got to thank those guys. They've been with us for a long time and provided us a lot of shirts. So thank you to them guys. MPM Marketing, Tanya McAllister. Help with all your social media stuff. And then Mayhem Management helps us with our graphics and stuff. Really appreciate Aaron for coming on board. And if you need somebody to take over your social media stuff, Aaron will take care of you. Tell her Jack and I sent you. Bonduran't Brothers Distillery. If you need some good drink, Robert, he makes a good drink.
Yeah.
The cinnamon is.
I'll be glad to go down there.
Pretty good.
Hopefully I can get down there to get some of that for long.
Got to thank Bill Mullis, Chuck Hall, both those guys for really allowing us to do the show from here. It really does make it really nice. I mean, things have been so much.
Yes.
I don't want to say easier is not a good word, but just a great fit, you know, from doing it here and like where you're doing it from, racetrack. You know where that's at, you know.
And, hey, and it helps with the fact that, Langley Speedway is right in the back. We're right back behind us. And during the summertime, it's really cool to have it back there to be a part of.
Yeah, absolutely. Performance Plus motor oil. So if you need some motor oil for your race car, Performance Plus will do the trick. Safety Clean. If you need, man, they have a lot of stuff for cleaning your hands and so forth. Let's see, we got GRIER and Associates with Mean Dean Automotive and Moyot. Not Moyot, right?
Right, it's Moyot.
Moyot, yeah.
That's what y'all say. I've been calling it Moyot for all my life, but that's what y'all say.
Let's see what else we got here. Don't forget to go check out Sponsor a Hole to Dave Millard's Medical Relief Charity Golf Tournament. Friday, May 12th this year. $70 a man, $100 to sponsor a hole. Sponsor a hole, man. Then we got. We both know that Hunter's not real smart.
Well, now I don't know about that. I mean, these. Hey,
he's funny.
I'm gonna let you finish. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish that because I'm not getting involved with that one.
No, I love Hunter. Hunter's my buddy. Hunter, thanks Hunter for coming on board this year. For supporting us, we greatly appreciate it. To have Hunter WALTRIP and WALTRIP Pressure Washing Solutions, man, and you see him up on a damn man lift. He's way up in the air doing hotels and. Yeah, you know he ain't real smart if he's up that high
Well,
doing
you're
some
right.
stuff.
Now that I'll agree with. I'll go with that.
I still like to tell everybody that he's much funnier than he is. He's much funnier as a comedian than he is a driver.
Well, have you seen some of his stuff recently? I mean, some of the stuff he's doing now is funny as I don't know what.
But with that, turn to synthetics, independent AMSOIL dealer. So if you need some AMSOIL, Hunter is here. He can take care of you. Whatever your AMSOIL needs are.
Yeah, and Papa John's just wanted us to come up and say, don't forget, if you're in the Hampton Roads area and call in and order a Papa John's pizza, don't forget to put Dotson 25.
25% off.
And 25% off of Dotson 25 on there. That's a big deal. And hey, that's pretty cool. You know,
Jack, you got your own code. Did you tell your wife that too?
Yeah, I told her about that. And I got the same answer I normally get. I mean, you think you're somebody now, right? That's the normal. Send Chris Edwards the link on this thing because the one I sent him is not working.
Wow, you know. Chris might not be real smart either.
I ain't going there. There's Erin Goodman, and hello, Erin. She's supposed to have been here with us tonight, but you know, she's got her everything going on with her. She kind of forgot about us for a little bit.
Did she?
You know,
at least did she do the graphics?
But no, we didn't do that either. But you know what she said today? She made a comment on it. Did you see the comment she made about you?
Oh, she told me to be nice.
Yeah, you should be nice. So that's what
I mean, look, Chris and
Chase Burrow.
Chase, well, sometimes we call him a little short round because when he was a little kid, he was short and round. He's a good kid. He's my buddy. I like Chase.
Well, now, Aaron, you're exactly right. I haven't been sending you anything because I know you got a lot going on right now, so I wasn't going to bother you too much with that right now. But whenever you're ready, I'll be sending it to you. I'll send it to you. There ain't no doubt about that.
What was Becky's reaction to the shirt?
I gave her one of our shirts.
One
of our shirts. And she said she just can't imagine having Scott out.
It's close to her heart.
Well, that ain't the part she was talking about. I ain't getting into that conversation. Anyway, Aaron, we have sent Chris the link. There we go. We got him. We got him there.
See, he is kind of smart, Jack.
Well, I'm not going there with you. I'm telling you. I ain't going to go there and call Chris a name or anything like that. I ain't going to do it. All right, let's go ahead and bring Chris and Chase on. How's it going, guys?
Hey, how's it going? Pretty good.
Hey, we're doing good. I miss you not being here with us. I mean, we like to have you here.
Yeah, I know that's right. We just had a lot of stuff to get ready for this test this weekend and get prepared for the next weekend for the first Cars Tour race.
So you're not going down to Goodyear for that race this weekend?
No, we opted not to run that one. Just trying to get more prepared for the Cars Tour event. We only got one car right now. We're building another one, so that's kind of where we're at right now, just trying to get prepared for everything.
Now, Chase, congratulations on being part of the Touring 12 for the Cars Tour. That has got to be a big deal for you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a huge deal to be being a Touring 12. It's pretty cool.
Well, I didn't realize until I watched the announcement what all the Touring 12 means. I mean, I didn't know that. I did not know all that stuff went on there. So that's a big deal for you and Chris, really.
For a team.
Yeah, for sure. As a team, it's a big deal.
So that's really cool.
Yeah, so a lot of exposure.
Huh?
A lot of exposure and a lot of savings, coming out the gate on fuel and tires and entry fees they help you out with. Since you sign up with them all year, they kind of give you some perks throughout the year as well to kind of help the costs.
So what all you got planned for this year, Chris? I mean, with your team and everything, what all's going on? I know you're going to be running the full tour, Cars Tour, but what else you got going on? Anything else?
Yeah, so we got Chase running the Cars Tour, and then some select races towards the end of the year, Martinsville and Thanksgiving Classic. Then we got Rusty Skews doing the Pro out of the Cars Tour series with the Pro division series. So we'll do that. Maybe do some Carolina Pro with him. And we also got Jeff Oakley that's going to be doing some select races with us throughout the year, throughout the summer, and maybe do Martinsville, getting back at Martinsville maybe this year. And then we got another client that we haven't announced yet, but looking forward to soon, that may be running Dominion full schedule and select races as well.
I mean, you could tell us. We won't tell anybody.
Right. I hear you. So we're getting all that squared away and prepared and all. So yeah, it should be good.
So how exciting this year for the Cars Tour are you guys? Because with Dale Jr., Harvick, Burton, and then Justin coming into the Cars Tour as kind of ownership. I mean, I don't know about this year. I mean, there's going to be a lot of hype. I don't know if there's going to be much changes this year, but next year and the year after, I mean, I feel like this is really going to put a big spotlight on local late model racing, which helps all of us. And it's got to be super exciting to sort of be involved with that.
It is. I mean, I know you're excited. I know I'm excited. But as far as what they're doing, Jack has done a phenomenal job as far as keeping the series going. And, with them coming on board, it's just going to open up the resources to maybe have us run different tracks, maybe in the future. Maybe some, Richmond, maybe that'd be cool. But, they're just going to use their resources and promote these guys and the Touring 12 in a different way than they ever have before. So it ought to be exciting for Chase to be able to, get more exposure, social media wise and TV wise. And as far as me, my cars being seen more is always a plus. So we're looking forward to it.
Plus, all the races are on Flow this year, so we can keep up with everything going on this year. That's a pretty big deal.
Oh, yeah. Huge deal. Yep. I'm glad they did that.
So, hey, Chris, let me ask you something. You, with this Touring 12, exactly for people that don't know, and I'm not one to explain it because I really, I just know the high points. But tell them what all it entails for you as an owner, and then Chase can tell us what it entails for him as a driver.
What it entails for me is since my driver got chosen to be, part of the Touring 12, what it'll do for us is get my company more exposure, being seen, like I just said. Our brand will be seen more. It's just, that's what it is. And as far as the savings, as far as, the gate, they save you at the gate at the fuel costs. They knock off a couple $100 per set, I think $100 off per set of tires. So throughout the year, all those things add up. And, we have Rusty Skews, he's the coroner, and anything we can do to offset that cost, because the cost is just unbelievable. The technology that goes in these cars and the parts that we got to make sure that we put on, because these races last, they're longer races. So we got to be more prepared as far as the team and keep all those things in the shop for us to change out or whatever. So that kind of what it means to us. It's a big deal, and we're super excited to be a part of it.
All right, Chase, what's it do for you? I mean, I know you got some certain obligations that you're going to have to do as far as being part of the Touring 12.
Yeah, it's just a lot of eyes that are going to be on you. There's a lot of eyes on the Touring 12, and the publicity side of it's huge. That's about it. Just the publicity, and then the honor to get chosen. That's pretty cool. Like I said, it's 12 of them. So what we have, like 32 cars per race most of the time.
Yeah.
So to be in the I wouldn't say top 12, but one of the 12 that are like in the Touring 12, it's a huge deal for sure.
Well, that's got to be huge in your book to be able to do that. Now, will you be doing anything else? Like, you've been known to run a little dirt races and all this other stuff too. Now, are you going to be doing any of that, or is Chris going to tell you, nope, ain't going to do it this year?
We ain't got to that point yet, but I'm sure you'll see me at Langley a little bit. I'm not gonna say anything yet, but y'all learn pretty soon. I'll be at dirt a little bit. I got some road course stuff that's in the works too. So like I'll be all over the place, but the cars tour is the main goal.
He said it's easier to ask for forgiveness than it is to ask for permission.
I saw Chris's face when I mentioned that. He kind of
yeah.
wait a minute now.
He won't smiling then.
Yeah, we won't talking about that, but you know, Chris,
yeah.
it has to be cool that he does that. I mean, that's seat time, even though it may not be totally related, but that is seat time.
No, it is. It is. It's good. The other day you went to Dominion and did the road course a little bit. So yeah, I mean, seat time's good. I just get a little nervous when they go-kart racing in the backyard and boys get a little wild, but you know, it's all good. You know, I know he's a kid and he's gonna have fun. You know.
Now, do you go up there and participate in that Willie Mullins stuff that goes on with him?
We have once, but we usually stay around home. We got a track at my house. A buddy of mine's got a track behind the house. So there's a few tracks down here that we always go to, but we try and stay a little bit closer to home. That's a long ride.
You know, Chris may have to put his foot down on that going up there to Willie Mullins and
right.
I understand.
Yeah, I know how the guys are.
That's pretty rough from what I hear.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but Chase got a good foot also, so I don't know. He's about as big as Chris. I don't know if Chris can do anything.
But Chris don't want, you know, them guys up there are hard headed.
Yep. Wide open, man. Wide open.
I mean, I wouldn't want my driver to be messed up in there with Davey Callahan and William.
That's what I'm saying.
You gotta watch that guy.
He's a wildcat.
Hey, we done seen him get whooped in Martinsville. I mean, you can't defend
well,
himself.
Callahan doesn't fight very well. But I mean, I don't know what he'd done if he got out of that car. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Anyway,
Right.
We got a question for you, Chris. Matt Cheatham wants to know: are you guys planning on running the Triple Crown, the Virginia Triple Crown races?
We've talked to Rusty a little bit about that. Logistically, we have one car for Chase to drive, late model. So we're trying to get another one built. So that may be something that might transpire more later in the year. But we'll just kind of see how that unfolds. Our main focus is, last year, I mean, for Chase to drive, he just got one race, and then all of a sudden we got the whole season. So this year we kind of have more of a plan, knowing logistically what we're going to do. Now that we've been on the tour, you know, hotel rooms, dinners, you know how it goes. It just all adds up, and we just got to make sure that we do our job at the Cars Tour, and then whatever else comes extra, you know, comes. So we'll just kind of plan that one by year.
Yeah, well, I understand the fact that the Cars Tour would be your number one thing, but that's really.
I mean, if you just knew somebody that built cars, you could probably get one built a little faster, you know.
Hey, he's working on it right now, actually, as we speak. So we're putting in some later hours, and yeah, we're just, you know, getting all the extra suspension parts and you know, getting the rears gone through and extra rears and you know, all the extra things that you may need, you know, throughout the tour. So it's a job and a half.
With that being said, you know, we need sponsors too for this deal. You know,
That's right.
The more the better. We got a few lined up, but you know, there's always room for more. So
Absolutely.
You got your checkbook?
Yeah, I got one, but it may not last. I mean, I can bounce it all the way up there to it. Anyway, Chase, now that's a job that Erin's supposed to be doing for you, right? She's supposed to be helping you get these sponsors and stuff.
Damn.
So,
I think a little bit of everybody's working on it. You know, just reaching out and So
I wanted to say something bad. I was digging at it there.
No, everybody's doing their job. It's just, you know, just finding, you know, a couple of them that will come on board. And we have had a couple, like he said, come on board, and we're very appreciative of it. And, you know, we're just trying to represent them, you know, like we told them we would. So we just got to have good performances, good finishes, and go out there and get them wins.
Now, Chase, you wouldn't happen to be like maybe in one of those Billy Hubbard cars, would you, this year? I mean, Billy's a big Chase Burroughs fan.
y'all are asking a lot of questions. I thought we were talking about the
You're not under oath or anything.
I can't tell y'all a whole lot of information yet, but we'll figure it out when the time comes, I reckon.
I mean, truly he is. It's funny because last year I was talking to Billy here one day, and he is a big Chase fan. And that says a lot. I mean, you look at what Billy has done and what he's accomplished, and when you get a compliment like that, that means a lot.
Yeah, those guys are a lot of help when it comes time to dirt race and stuff like that. You know, they're my go-to. But I don't know. We've been doing it, so probably do a little bit more. We'll see.
You're really good at this. Yeah, you're really good. Aaron,
Be a politician.
I think Aaron's teaching you well. He's teaching you how to do all this. That's pretty cool. So, Chase, who are your sponsors for the upcoming year?
So for the Cars Tour, we got Medic aboard. I'm sure y'all know Adam Medic.
Yep.
That's a big one. And then for Dominion and Langley and Wilkesboro,
Yeah.
we got Tidewater safety shoes, I believe.
Yes. Yep.
So those are the only two we have right now. We're working on a little bit more, but like I said, there's a lot more room for anybody that wants, you know, to be on, you know, TV time. In the Carolinas all the time. Got Top Gun Motorsports. That's Rusty. Then ERE and then H race cars. But yeah, there's a lot more room down in the Carolinas. So
How about Mayhem Marketing?
yes, there should be on there. Yep, for sure.
Justin Spurlock.
Justin Spurlock. Then I got Rusty Skews too. Can't forget him.
Okay, I just want to make sure that, you know, my good friend at Mayhem, you know, gets her just due, even though she's not with us tonight, you know, except by, you know, sending messages. But anyway.
Yeah, Aaron does a lot for us at ERE and, you know, for Chase and for all of us. I mean, even behind the scenes, you know, if we need something, she's there. So she's great to work with. So, you know, if you need any Mayhem management to do social media for you or, you know, things like that, she's the one to call.
Well, I mean, it's really cool that you guys are going to be in the Cars Tour this year. I'm really looking forward to. We're looking forward to having you here at Langley for that race. And Chase, I've never met you personally. I don't think. Maybe I have.
Jack, they were here on the show.
Right, that's right.
Don't forget him. He's over 60.
It's all good. We knew when we talked about that. It's all right.
You talked about what, Chris? Hold on a minute now.
Well, you know, you might be forgetting stuff with your old age, Jack. You know, it's all right.
You'll definitely be back on, Chris.
Oh, I can't believe Chris did that.
I love you, man. I love you.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you at Langley when you get here.
Absolutely, we're looking forward to it.
You remember old Billy Smith? He can be putting the voodoo on you, Jack is.
Oh yeah.
No, don't do that.
Yeah,
Voodoo
a lot
don't
of you do that.
Voodoo don't affect him.
Now, Chase, when it comes time to talk about the stuff that you're not going to talk about, are you going to let us know about it so we can talk about it on here? I mean, you know.
Yeah, we might can work something out where might be on the Jack Dodson'S show, but we'll see. We'll see.
Okay, well, I'll try to remember you then, okay? Even though Chris says I'm old. I'm going to try to remember you. Anyway. All right, guys, I know you got stuff going on. We appreciate you spending some time with us tonight. And, hey, good luck to you. And let's go down and get some wins in this Cars Tour and get a championship. How about that?
That's the goal. We appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having us on.
All right, we enjoyed having you on, Chase. Chris, I'm not so sure about. But Chris,
all right, guys.
Thanks, man. Get back working on the car.
That we own it. We own
it. Chase is a good kid.
Yeah,
I mean, he
and I really liked Chris until tonight.
I mean, it's funny when he first started running arena cars, and he did really well in the kids division, and even when they moved him up to the adult class, he did a really good job. And it's funny just to see him, how far he's came in such a kind of a short period of time, and still seeing that short little chunky kid.
Well, and the thing about it is, I mean, he does the dirt, he does the Cars Tour, the late models. He does. I mean, he's not a one
trick pony.
Yeah, he does a lot of things, and it's got to be beneficial to him to be able to do those things.
Well, I think dirt you get to learn a lot of car control for some people.
Oh, so was another one. I get rid of Chris, and now you're gonna start firing shots. Okay.
But I do think it is beneficial, especially for somebody like him and his age and his where he's at in the sport. You know, he's still learning. He's still a very young driver. I don't know how old Chase is. He's not that old.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he's driving now, so maybe he's 16, 17 years old, which I mean, it's in some ways, you know, some of these guys have been going for a long time, but
yeah, well, I think it's really cool, and he's going to he's going to be a big thing along with the Cars Tour and everything going on this year. It's got to be big for a kid like him to be, you know, to have that.
Absolutely, and I'm honest when I'm saying that about Billy Hubbard. You know, and Billy's a hell of a dirt racer, and when Billy gives you a compliment, that means something. I know they weren't going to do. They were dirt racing something else. He's like, so I called Chase. Chase is he's a wheelman. Like he has a future. I mean, Billy is a very big Chase fan, and that says a lot.
We're froze.
Well, the thing is, but people ain't said nothing, so I think we're okay. It's just what we see.
Chaseboro Motorsports says Chase is recently 18 and a senior in high school.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, still a young kid, but still funny. But all the arena race I'm looking through, some of those things are like 10 years ago, and it's like it seems like it was just 2 or 3, 5 years ago. You know.
Read what they say in there on that.
It pops up every 5 seconds. Either one of you guys connections at Facebook. I got a restriction screen. I don't know. I know that ours seems to be a little strange today. Like maybe the internet is slow and lagging. Let me choose you on here. Yes, this should be.
Oh, there's Katie.
Ours is you have to. How you doing, Katie?
Good. How are you?
Good. Turn your thing off. Your
It is off.
your sound.
It is off.
I don't know why it's feeding back.
Hold on, Katie. We're having technical difficulties.
Okay.
Yes, yours is not. Terrible. All right. You got us, Katie?
Yep.
All right.
Katie Hettinger, how you doing tonight? Sorry about the little problem there.
All good. I'm good. How are you?
No,
Look,
we're doing
but she's
great.
still smiling from the other week.
I'm gonna tell you what, you had an awesome World Series down in New Smyrna. I was really excited to see you down there and having a great time.
Yeah, I did. I had a lot of fun. It was my first Speed Weeks because I've never even gone to watch before because I wasn't allowed to skip school. But I don't go to in-person high school anymore, so I was really glad I was able to go and race because I think we had a very successful week.
Yeah, you
You
really
think?
did. And to be the first female winner at the World Series, you know, that's really huge.
Yeah, it was huge. We didn't even know that I made history when I first won. We were just so pumped that I finally was able to get a win. And then when they told us, I found out after the race. I was going on Facebook and I found out. So that was really awesome. I'm really glad I was able to get my name in the history book for that.
And you know, you did good, even though you had Casey Roderick as a teammate down there.
Oh Lord!
I mean, you know, I hope you taught him something while you were down there.
He taught me a lot. Casey helps a bunch. I'm so glad he was there, and I'm glad I have him as a teammate this year. He's a lot of fun to hang out with. He's a cool dude, so I'm glad I got him.
Have you really sit down and thought about what your last couple years have been like for you and this racing thing? You have kind of stepped out there and you've got your name out there, and you are becoming one of the big wheels now. Everybody talks about Katie and what she's doing in racing. And I think that's big.
Yeah, it's definitely crazy. Like going back in seeing everything that I've accomplished so far already. And like even my followers, we were talking about it the other day, like after Speed Weeks, I went up almost like 1,000 followers on Instagram and Facebook and everything. So it's really crazy, but I'm not done yet. So I'm still pushing and trying to get to Cup and everything.
Well, that's cool. I mean, now what is the rest of this year look like for you? What are you going to be running for the most part?
So we're going to do the full Cars Tour Pro Late Model schedule. So I'll do that with Anthony Campy. And then I'm also running a micro on dirt every Wednesday at Millbridge. So I'll be doing that. And then I'm running some road course Spec Miata races too. So very busy.
Where's the road course stuff at? VIR?
We're going to run like Sebring, and then Daytona and some tracks like that.
Okay.
Just a few.
Well, I tell you what, you have really got it going on. I am proud of the fact that we had you on when you were racing, locally doing some stuff, and then you look at where you're at today. I mean, that's really huge, and I know your parents and everybody's got to be really proud of you, your car owner, everybody, what you've done. You've done a great job, and I'm proud of you. And we don't even know each other that well. So.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, my whole like town back home in Michigan, they always comment on my stuff, and whenever I go home to visit my mom and my siblings, everyone's always like, "Oh, you did so good," or I see like my old friends at the grocery store, and they're like, "Oh, hey, you're doing so good," and all like that. So I'm really thankful for everything I have with all my sponsors and my family and everything. A lot of people have made some sacrifices for me, so I'm very blessed and very thankful.
So you're living in the Charlotte area now, or?
Yeah, so right now I live in Mooresville. I'm in an apartment right now over Junior Motorsports late model shop. So it's not the best house situation, but it's doing for right now.
Oh, I didn't know you were over there. Okay, yeah, okay. That's a pretty good deal to be right there. Now, you need to go down there and hit them up and tell them you need a ride with them too. Like an Xfinity ride or something like that.
Yeah, I always go down and talk to Brian and Carson down there. They're always funny and always down there.
So how did you get hooked up with Anthony Campy Racing? I mean, you were basically running a Hickory and places like that. Where did you get hooked up with him at?
So I ran a few Cars Tour Pro races last year with Highlands Motorsports. And one of the races we ran was Tri-County. And we had a really fast car at Tri-County. I qualified second to Williams Sawalich. And I was running second, and then we kind of got beaten up and then got taken out in the end. But we had a really fast car, and Lauren Rainier, he helps me with all my stuff and everything. So him and Anthony got to talking because Anthony was there with Gio, so he saw me race in the pro. And then we kind of like stopped talking the rest of the season, and then we met up with them at PRI, and we really started getting serious about running with them. And like Anthony was talking about wanting me to run for them, and then we finally just made the deal a deal. And so I'm really glad I'm running for them. They're a really good team. I've wanted to run with them for a while, and so I'm really glad that Lauren helped me out with that and Team Chevy, and then Anthony is letting me drive for him.
Well, Lauren Rainier, he's a good person to have behind you.
Absolutely.
With everything, he knows everybody, and he helps out a lot of people get going. And that's really a feather in your hat to have him helping you out.
Oh, yeah, he's helped me with a bunch, and I talked to him about everything. He came over today and brought me a picture of me standing up on my door that one of the photographers took, and he had it like put on a canvas and everything. So he's a really cool dude. He helps me with a lot, and I'm really thankful for him.
Well, I think he's got a star in the future right there with you. How about that?
Hopefully.
Now, to look at the females in racing these days, and especially on the local level, you probably are somebody they all look up to because of the way you do things. But what is it you think that the reason why the females are all of a sudden coming to life in the sport? I mean, there is some great young female race car drivers, and I don't mean that derogatory about female. I'm just saying, there for a while you didn't see it, but now you do. So how do you think? What do you think is bringing all that along?
I think that they're just now with like NASCAR and racing and everything, there's more diversity coming into the sport, and so females have a better shot now. I was lucky to get hooked up with Matt last year, and we started running a lot of races, and I was in good equipment. And I was able to learn a lot from him. And so I won at Hickory, and then that really got my name out there. And so now more females are going and they're running just the local races. Hickory is obviously a very historic track, so that's a good one to go run. But and once you win a few races, it really helps get your name out there. And we need more women winning races, and I think it's happening. So I think there's just more opportunities, and it's good for females. And I hope more keep coming through and moving up through the ranks.
So what do you think about this Cars Tour this coming year? I mean, I got a feeling the competition is going to be really tough in the Cars Tour this year, with all the involvement you now have. With Scott was talking earlier about Junior and everybody involved in the sport, in cars racing. That's got to be something you got to be looking at. You're going to be out in the forefront of all that.
Oh yeah, Cars Tour series is going to be really good this year. Jack and Keeley have worked their butts off on that series, and now with the new owners and everything coming in, it's going to be a really big year, and I'm really excited. The pros, we're going to have a lot of competition this year, but I really want that championship, and I think we have a really good shot at getting it. I got good stuff. I got a lot of good people around me, so hopefully we can get that, and then maybe run a few late model stock races. That'd be fun, but it's definitely going to be a good competitive series this year, and I'm so excited.
Well, hey, we want you to come up here and run run a late model up here with us sometime.
I know. I'll try.
And hey, and you're going to be up here for the Cars Tour when they come to Langley, so hopefully we'll see you then.
All right.
It'll be a lot of fun to be able to see you in person and talk to you. So it's really great that you've got a lot going on. We really appreciate you being with us tonight. You got any sponsors? Anybody you want to thank for helping? Anybody?
First of all, my mom and dad, because they helped me with a lot. And then Team Chevy, Wheeler Trucking, Frim Filters, Autolite Spark Plugs, Mobile One Racing, Lauren Rainier, Anthony Campy, K1 Race Gear, Bell Helmets, and everybody else who's helped me get here.
Did you have a cheat sheet, or did you just remember that?
No, I just remember that.
That's pretty damn good.
I'm very thankful for everyone that helps me. I always try and have a good relationship with all my sponsors and everything. So, and I also do a lot of posts and tag them. So,
you know what's really cool is, I guess Anthony Campy had to have one smart driver, and then he had Casey. So, I mean, it's really cool that he's got two different drivers there.
I think it's funny because sometimes, like, Casey is obviously super smart and he's older than me. And so sometimes I'll tell him something about like technology or something like that. And he'll be like, what? And it's like, how do you not know that? Like, he lives under a rock, I think.
Now, it's so true. I can see it right now. What do you mean? Let me tell you something. I knew Casey when he was probably younger than you. And he was hanging around with the Phoenix Racing crew, the group. He was started out with Phoenix, and my son was working over at Phoenix, and that's how I got to know him. Yeah, he's not very bright some days. You have to tell him a lot of things.
He's funny. I think it's funny with like the whole Anthony Campy crew, because Gio drove for them last year, and obviously it's a boy, so they mess around, they have fun, and then I come and I feel like everyone's a little timid because I'm a 15-year-old girl, but then you just mess around, and now we all have so much fun. I talk to them like all the time, and they're my best friends now.
So how often do you get down and work with them and go to the shop and see them and work with them? You get to do that right regular?
No, because they're out of Florida.
That's
and
what
so
I thought.
It's hard for me. We moved to North Carolina to be closer to racing, and the team I drive for is out of Florida. So it's hard for me to go down. But this summer, once I don't have school, I'm hoping to go down there. My grandma lives down there, and she lives not far. So I'll go down and stay with her and then go over to the shop and hang out with them before the races and stuff.
So I want to go back to Speed Weeks. When during the weekend did you think you had a car to win with? I mean, right off the trailer, you were pretty confident, or halfway through the race? How did your race go, and what was going through your mind?
I think it was the race I finished 12th in, because I burned up my clutch in qualifying, which very messed me up, got my confidence way down and everything. But my team stuck with me. They replaced the whole transmission and everything. And so we started 28th in the field, and I drove all the way up to 5th with my car. And it was perfect. I had an amazing car, and driver error, I spun out off of 2 trying to pass for 4th. But I was able to drive back up to 12th then, and I just had a great car. And I knew with my team, they weren't going to give up on me. I wasn't going to give up on them. And so then we finished third and then second, and then we didn't, but then we won. And so really it was that first night. I knew we were able to win.
Yeah, you were pretty strong the whole week down there. Really, think about it. You were top of the charts. I mean, up towards the top of the charts in just about every practice and everything. So you were really.
I bet you probably could wish you could take qualifying back on that one where you started in back, because if you moved up to fifth, if you'd have started in the top 5, where would you have ended up at the end of the race?
Yeah, that's what we kept talking about. We were really fast in practice all week, like you said, top of the boards. Qualifying, I have to get a little better at as a driver, just get back in the swing of things with the season and everything. But yeah, we kept talking. We're like, if I started up towards the front, we probably could have won that race the first night. And so I knew I had a fast car, and then we finished third, then we finished second. And so we were so close. And so I'm so glad we were able to finally get the win, because we definitely had the car to do it, and we all needed one.
Now, I tell you what, I was really excited. I watched the race that night you won, and I tell you, I was really excited to see you win. And hopefully you got plenty more wins ahead of you this year. So we'll get you back on and talk to you again real soon.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for being with us, and we appreciate it.
No problem. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
I think we froze again, Jack. I don't. Browser has lost connection to your camera. Oh, man. Hang on. Wow. I might just have to go to
May have to do. I won't say nothing. Damn.
That's yours.
No, mine's off. See? No, I just turned it off. Now it's off.
No, it's not. Oh, wow. This mic is bleeding through. Because I'm not up here. Now we should have sound now. But I don't know why our camera is not working. I don't know.
Well, anyway, while we have sounds back,
Yeah.
now that I have the whole camera to myself, let's talk about the racing this past weekend. Wasn't a whole lot except down at in California, the 24 hours of Fontana.
Right. So, I mean, how soon did everybody think that Kyle Busch was going to win? Did they think he was going to win this fast?
I didn't think he would this fast, but I think he has something he wants to prove. And
well, I think he does too. But the other part is like, it was kind of shocking that there wasn't as many boos when he won.
I saw that. Yeah, that kind of.
It was a little weird feeling, but it reminds me of, remember when Rusty spun Darrell Waltrip, and nobody liked Darrell Waltrip, and then they just hated Rusty. It's like this switch of rides. It's like he was kind of kicked out of his ride for no reason, which I would kind of agree with.
I think so too.
I don't know if it was totally because the sponsor was leaving. If they wanted to, they could have kept him, they just didn't want to spend the money, which
But
I can say, okay, I understand.
Did you see what Denny Hamlin said about it?
Mm-mm.
Denny Hamlin said, had JGR kept Kyle Busch, there would be no JGR in a couple of years because they couldn't afford to keep him under contract with the sponsorship the way it is right now. Because my understanding is that this will probably be his last year at JGR.
You know, he's going to go to drive for his own team.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I guess that's why they're running this third team. Because I personally think, and I don't have any source on this, I think Kurt's done.
Yeah, he keeps saying, you know, he's going to be cleared to come back, but where?
If you ain't cleared to come back by now, you probably don't need to be getting in the car.
And I don't think, I mean, yeah, they started a third car at
And the other thing is, you know, there's ebb and flows to this cup racing and stuff, right?
mhm.
And for a long time, Toyota was at the forefront of that, right? They were ahead of the curve. They had the driver development. They were spending a lot of money. Joe Gibbs gets paid a lot of money from Toyota to run Toyotas, a lot. Toyota doesn't do the development that much. They pulled out of Rev Racing. And it's funny because we'd had some conversations with Rajay's parents and stuff, and they've kind of been under the GM banner, the Chevrolet banner, just as Katie is. And now it seems like that GM is sort of on that same trajectory. You know, they're investing in the kids coming along. It seems like JGR is kind of going to younger drivers because they're cheaper, right? Kyle Busch wants, you know, $6-8 million a year. These young drivers, hell, you could pay them nothing to drive, and they'll do it. I'm wondering if it was a mistake for Tyler Reddick to move. I don't think he's going to have as good a season.
I don't think he's going to have a good season, as good a season either. And I think, you know, that's going to be.
But it just feels like this is a passing of the baton a bit, where Toyota was sort of on this trajectory. They kind of peaked. They've had a lot of good years, and now it seems like it's kind of starting to trend downward. And Chevrolet is starting to spend some money, and it seems like it's trending up. Now you've run Kyle Busch over. And I think anybody, and I was a big Dale Sr. fan, so I'm a big Childress fan, and I think this is big for Childress. And then it's going to be good for Austin Dillon. I mean, look, they've been running up front.
And everything.
Should have won Daytona.
Should have won that, yeah, big time.
I don't think that caution should have come out. Should have won Daytona. He was leading lap 200. He could have been sitting here back-to-back wins right out of the gate. And I think the competition better be like looking over their shoulder.
Yeah, they're going to be tough. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But it's a good win for Kyle this week. And then also, John Hunter Nemechek won the Xfinity race, and that's one of those deals there where Toyota kept him.
Yes,
because he was with Kyle Busch before. But I've looked at like Chandler Smith. He's moved to a Chevrolet. It's some of these kids that were part of this Toyota development thing, like you said, they've moved on, and they're in a new way. Chandler Smith, Haley Deegan, when she left Toyota and went to Ford, and so I mean, you see these people leaving.
Ford's still lagging.
Yeah, but they then again, where is she going to be next year? Because that may be a big sign of how things go next year. And how about the fact that the David Gilliland team, you know, they switched around this year.
What did they move to? Did they go to Toyota?
They went to Toyota,
that's
and then I don't think they have they don't have a regular set of drivers. They're putting different drivers in every week, and that's the way it's getting to be now.
And then I don't know if you've heard anything about the California track.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff. I mean, you can't blame them for selling the property like they did for $500 million. But they still have what 80 some acres or
Did you see the picture today?
no?
They had a picture of what the new track is going to look like.
Is it going to be in the same place?
It's going to be close to the same area.
Okay, because because I heard the interview a little bit with Elton Sawyer, and Elton was like, "We're still going to be in California. Wasn't like we're going to be at the same place."
Well, it's going to kind of be in the same place. I mean, it may not be right there in the same, but it's on the same track of property there because the buildings you saw behind the racetrack, they were in the drawing today.
Mm.
So, but they said it's going to be Martinsville on steroids.
Well, that's what I wanted. They said the High Bank Martinsville, but that's Bristol. Well, I guess Bristol's more round than two drag strips and a really banked corner.
Well, let's see what's going on with Greg Van ALST. Maybe I sent him the wrong one too, but it's the same one. I mean, the one you sent.
I mean, if you click on that, and if it brings you into this.
Anyway.
What other news we got? We can probably go over.
Well, there was nothing really big going on this week except that the race out there. A lot of people stayed out in California. It's going to be, well, it was really funny. I was listening today that they were talking to Rodney Childers with the new changes they've made in the aero packages and stuff for the short tracks and everything they announced today. They brought Rodney Childers on there, and he says, we've known this for a little while. We were kind of expecting it. Of course, everybody was up in arms. Oh, they wait till this time to tell you and everything. But he said they were expecting it and kind of looking at it to be in. And now they're going to do it, and they're going to take the diffuser off of it, and they're going to lower the spoiler. And
hey, I like no downforce. I think it's when you got to get up on the wheel. And I seen Dale Jr. make a comment where they wish they could find, which I don't ever see him doing it, is making the tire have a whole lot of fall off. Make the car slow down 2 seconds a lap or a second a lap throughout a tire run. But in order to do that, you got to make the tire soft. And then when you make the tire soft, you kind of make it unsafe or unsafer. I ain't gonna say unsafe, but it's more
it's not so much, he says it's not so much the tire being, they want something where the car is more in the hands of the driver. And that's what they've been asking for, and that's what they're going to get. Except at Dover and Bristol. They're not going to do it at Dover, Bristol.
Well, those are two very high impact. If you have a tire go down, that wall, especially either one of them, Bristol probably not as much as Dover. Dover's a lot faster. It's like a Bristol in some ways, but it's twice the size.
He said it was kind of funny that we're talking about it. That he said, "Well, the driver's gonna have to be careful what they ask for because they're gonna get it."
Well, I mean, I like that idea. What's up, Donald Brown? How you doing, man? But I think, I mean, with this new car, I think the competition is much better. I don't know if we'll ever repeat as many winners as we had this past year. I hope so.
We're on our way, two for two right now.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting season. I'm curious if Kyle Busch can do the same thing that Kyle Larson did in the first year over Hendricks to win the championship. You think Kyle can do the same thing? I think he can.
I'm not going to say it's not possible. Not with him. It's,
And I do think he's got a chip on his shoulder.
Oh, I know he's got a chip on his shoulder, and he's determined.
And but it just seems like it feels like a very good match.
And he seems to be to me, he seems like he's a little different than he normally is.
Well, I think it's gotten him a little humbled. I think you had this, big thing for a while, and then, you come along. But I think the personality, Childress can go both ways. And I think it depends on, I don't think people realize like how I don't want to say volatile, but Childress himself is a very explosive personality. And believe it or not, Dale Sr. was the calm one between the two. When something was going on, if you listen to some of his old radio communication, he's telling Richard to calm down. Don't worry about it. Don't get over there and get in a fight. Richard's he's the aggressive guy. And we've known a bunch of the guys over there. It comes from the top down over there.
Yeah.
They're scrappers. And Austin, and I think you see a step in Austin's step too. Like he's got a little pep in his step. Like Kyle's over there. I think he helped turn that program around, and he's running well. And I think Kyle will push him to do better, and I think help him. Because let's be honest, Austin came over there. He doesn't have that much experience, and he's the leader of an organization.
All right. Well, since Greg didn't come on here, we're going to go ahead and bring Tristan on. I sent him a text, get him on here. And here's my buddy. This is my buddy. I was so tickled for this guy.
Ho. He might not want everybody to know that y'all are friends.
Oh, it's okay. You can tell him.
Look, his head is still swollen.
Hey, look, I thought it was really funny how you all finally go out and win a race as soon as Eddie Pardue leaves.
Yeah. I hated it for him.
Jack.
I mean, the first points race after he left.
I almost spit my soda out.
I know he's listening, so I just want to.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
So, man, let me tell you something. I am tickled to death y'all got that win the other day. I mean, that had to be a huge deal for you with all the racing you've done through the years, Phoenix Racing, all these other places. Now you have a Daytona 500. I mean, that's a big deal.
Oh yeah, I mean it's the biggest race in the sport you could win. Won a lot of Xfinity races, won a couple Cup races, but if you could pick any race on the schedule to go and win, that'd be the one.
And
it's unreal.
I was sitting there watching the race, and it was kind of funny. And then again, it wasn't funny either, but it was kind of funny that your team wins the race, and Andrew Dickinson is the engineer for Kyle Busch, and y'all two, that was a big deal for y'all. All you guys from Phoenix were up there doing that. That's really something else.
Yeah, it's cool. There's a lot of guys, that came from Phoenix that have went on to do a lot of good things. Me, Andrew, Chase Masterson on the pit crew at RCR. He's been a pit crew man of the year like 3 years in a row now. Nick, like just so many people from there.
And you mentioned Nick, and I'm gonna say this. Nick basically
taught them everything they know.
He may not have taught them everything they knew, but he definitely he was part of that whole thing too, because he was the backbone for you guys.
I know. I wish he'd have been able to see that, because I know he'd have been cheering probably just as hard as we were.
Oh yeah, I'm sure of that.
Well, Nick strikes me as a type, and I didn't get to know Nick that well, but he strikes me as a type. He really pushes you to show your potential. Like you didn't see it and you didn't think you could do it, but he seems like the type that could really get the most out of you and show you that you can do it.
Oh yeah, he was always after everybody, to just get that little bit more, get a little more. Right up until we loaded, and after we unloaded at the track, it'd still be get a little more. I think that's how we, as a small team, were able to compete like we did.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I mean, he was such a he was a character in the sport for me. I really thought it was.
Oh yeah.
So I had a blast when I was around you guys. I mean, it was really cool. But I tell you what, you did them proud, man. Come up and get a Daytona 500. What's it been like for you since that day? I mean, I know y'all been celebrating like crazy.
Oh, it's been a crazy week. we stayed down there, of course, and went to the Champions Breakfast on Monday morning. Then we flew back, got back to Concord, and our whole team was waiting there at the airport for us. So that was really cool. Then Tuesday went right into work like normal and got ready for California this weekend and Vegas. We shipped both cars out on Tuesday evening, so that was a long couple of days of work there. But we've celebrated every chance we could in between. We all went with Ricky to PBR, invited our whole team to join him at the Pro Bull Riding event there in Los Angeles at the Crypto.com Center. So we all went to that. It was a really cool deal. Went as a team. They sent a bus to pick us up from the hotel, rode over there together, rode back, had a great time. So we've celebrated every chance we get.
Yeah. Are you still in California or did you come home?
I came home. I'm actually back in Concord right now.
Oh, okay. I didn't know how,
I was curious to the same thing.
I was kind of wondering how y'all went about doing that. I know you probably got a lot of stuff you have to do to get ready for the next week, but.
Yeah, we got both the California and Vegas cars ready at once and shipped them out, and then we'll ship the Phoenix car out on Thursday.
Oh,
So we swapped out after each race. So keep the truck from having to come back and forth so many times. That's hard on the truck drivers this early in the year.
So when will you be going back out to Phoenix?
We'll fly out Friday morning to LA or Las Vegas, and then we'll fly back Sunday night, and then fly back again the next Friday morning to Phoenix. So in the last month, that would be my 4th West Coast trip. It's
you'd be glad when that's over with, right?
Oh yeah, I'm ready to race closer to home.
I was sitting there. I saw the video of you guys getting off the plane at the airport, and all your team was there. And I was sitting there, and I forget who was sitting. Somebody was with me. I said, "Look at there. There's Tristan. You were one of the first guys off the plane."
Yeah.
And I said, "There's Tristan right there." I said, "I wonder how they got him through the door, because I know his head had to be swollen up."
Man, it was surreal. Like I said, the race was over about 6:30. By the time we finished tech, it was probably 1 o'clock in the morning, and we had the car taken apart. The engine was out of it and stripped down, and the officials basically told us, "All right, put it back together for the museum," and they pretty much packed up and left, and we're there with the car in pieces, and it took us about 2:30 in the morning to put it back together. So there wasn't a whole lot of time to celebrate that night, but we did get a little celebration. Then we went over to Ricky's bus, and everybody hung out for a few hours. Got back to the hotel about 4:30 in the morning and had to be back at the track for the breakfast at 7. So it was a short little bit of sleep there. So I was still a zombie when I got off the plane there, but it was still great to see everybody there waiting for us.
Tristan, do y'all have an alliance with somebody?
We do. We've had I'd say we got engines from Hendrick Motorsports for several years now, but this is the first year we've actually had a formal technical alliance with them, and that's been a huge help to us. Just having someone to compare to. We utilize pretty much all of their and GM sim tools. Like they came to the Phoenix test with us, a couple of their representatives, Kevin, that was actually my crew chief at Junior Motorsports as an engineer there. And so we work together. We're pretty much each other's contact between the two organizations. So that's worked really well. And we share a lot of information back and forth. They've really helped us step up our program this year.
Yeah, you guys have got a good deal over there right now. I know you made some changes over there. Brian Patty's gone now, and everything's a little different over there. But I'll tell you what, y'all come out the gate good this year.
Yeah, we've had a few things swap up over the winter, but managed to get everything in a good direction. Mike and Ricky have worked together before, so that's been beneficial. That they've had a previous relationship. The Hendrick Alliance has helped us a ton. GM stepped up helping everyone this year. It's just been probably the best situation we've had at JTG as far as people in the right places and the right tools to go do it with.
Yeah.
Now, how are you liking this new car? Are you a fan, or is this? Because I know Eddie was telling us last week or week before last that everything that used to work and it's just completely different.
Yeah, it's pretty much everything's opposite of what you used to think was right, which it's taking some getting used to for sure. But I see the benefits of it. Hopefully, in the long run, cost wise for the teams and owners, it actually is a little more satisfying to go out there and run good, knowing that basically everybody has the same base pieces, and if you're outrunning somebody, it's because your driver's better and your setup's better. So it does give you a little more satisfaction there, but it's definitely taken some getting used to. It's totally different than anything we've ever run before, and just how it works, how the car responds to changes, what changes do what. It's pretty much like Eddie said, it's all different.
It's got, it had to be a lot of fun to see Tad and Jody and Brad Daugherty. I mean, Brad getting to being the first African-American owner to get a win in the series and everything. That had to be really huge. I mean, I know they were excited.
Oh, they were very excited, and I loved it for them. Tad, Jody, Brad, and Gordon, our owners, they put so much into our team. It being a small team, they put a lot of, their own personal resources into everything, and a lot of their time and effort. And just to see them be able to get rewarded with a win, especially a win at the Daytona 500, I know they enjoyed it every bit as much, if not more, than we did. Just, getting something for all their work all those years to say, look, we did it.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, it was a huge deal to see you win the Daytona or be a part of the Daytona 500 win. That's got to be a feather in your hat for the rest of your life. Be something you'll always remember.
Oh, for sure. That's going to be one of the best days of my life for as long as I live there.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, look, I'm gonna ask you a question now. You and I remember back in the day. I think we were in Atlanta or somewhere one time, and we were talking. That you said are you still a preacher?
I don't practice it anymore, but I still am certified.
Oh, okay.
All right, so you were going to renew your vows or something, weren't you? And you're going to see if he can marry y'all again?
Yeah,
Or ordained minister?
I would be glad to do it if you're looking to get your vows renewed.
Well, if I get down to Charlotte sometime in the near future,
Not with me, Jake.
No, I'm not going with you. But I mean, we might look into that. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, we can do it.
Okay, well, that'd be fun. Kristen, man, congratulations. Thank you for being with us tonight. I know you got a lot going on. You're a busy person, West Coast swing, getting everything done, but I really appreciate you spending some time with us, and meant a lot to me to see you win the Daytona 500. I think it's really cool. And
Now, do you guys get a ring?
Yeah, they're going to get us all rings. They're getting everybody fitted up for that, which is going to be awesome. The driver and owners got theirs this past week at the racetrack, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
He'll be sleeping with it. It won't come off his finger.
Well, it's not like you sleeping with the trophy.
Hey, I bet he'd sleep with a Daytona 500 trophy.
But Tristan, appreciate it, man. Thanks you for being with us. I know you gotta be on cloud nine. And hey, you guys are running really good. You ran pretty good this past weekend too. So go out there and get another win.
We're gonna do it.
All right, man. Thanks a lot. And I'm always partial to those Phoenix racing guys, so I just let you know that. So I'm happy for you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, man. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Man, how cool is it? It was really interesting to watch that race. And I'm sitting there and I'm seeing the race going on. And they show Randall Burnett, and there's Andrew sitting right there beside him. And then to know Tristan, I mean, I don't think I ever saw Tristan on the box, but see him and know he was part of that team. And then on the Xfinity race that night, one of the guys
I didn't watch the whole thing.
One of the guys that was on the 2 car was from Phoenix Racing. They used to call him Don Johnson. I can't remember his name now, but they used to call him Don Johnson.
Why did they call him Don Johnson?
I think he kind of tried to dress like him sometimes. I don't know. But anyway, he was there, and I was thinking, all these guys, they all come from the same place, and that's really huge, really, really big. Eddie Clark says he's got some breaking news.
I know. We're going to be official.
He's going to be
members over there. I think
he's going to be an occasional caterer for Kyle Nestor Motorsports. That had to be Aaron's doing.
I know. How come we didn't? I didn't get that.
I don't understand how we need to get him to come do us some barbecue. He won't.
I mean, this pizza's good.
The pizza's good, but
It ain't that his barbecue.
It ain't even close to his barbecue. I'll give him that. I love the pizza. and I think the world of it. But hey, Eddie's
But
barbecue.
man, we can't get Eddie to fix his barbecue every week.
You know, what I was thinking about. We ought to move our show to his house and do our show from over there from time to time.
Maybe we get some
Maybe
barbecue.
we get some barbecue that way.
Hey, he does pizzas too.
I don't want the pizza. I want the barbecue.
Mhm.
That was some good stuff. I mean, I enjoyed the heck out of that barbecue last time we had it. What?
I ate that shit for 2 days or 3 days.
What? 6-8 months ago.
Mhm.
So he's got to do us. Got to be back with us and do it again.
He said he don't want no pizza either.
I know you got. I remember you telling me you had a pizza oven, but we don't want pizza. Read our lips. We want the barbecue. Anyway, that's our show for tonight. I want to thank Tristan Smith for being with us. Daytona 500 winning engineer for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Katie Hettinger, what a speed weeks she had down at not
What
speed
a
weeks,
nice
but a World
young
Series.
woman, you know.
And I mean,
Hell, she
was-
really ain't a woman. She's still a kid.
and I mean,
I didn't realize she was still 15 years old.
she's really got a career coming. I think she's going to be very strong in the. And then we had Chase Burrow and that other guy was with him. I can't remember his name.
Chris,
What?
I got you, Chris.
Chris, is that was his name? Chris Edwards? Yeah, I remember. Smart aleck. And but anyway, next week's show, we're gonna have another female with us next week. She ran really well in the ARCA race. Mandy Chick, I think she finished in the top 5 or 6 in that race.
I think she ran 6, I think.
So anyway, she's going to be with us next week. Hopefully, I'm going to get Greg Van Alst, the winner of the ARCA race. He was supposed to be with us tonight. I don't know what happened. I sent him a message. Don't know what happened with him, but anyway, I know he has other jobs he does too. So
does he?
yeah, so that could be the problem. But anyway, we're going to try to get him back next week, and we're going to start something. We're going to try to get some of these Langley guys come out here and be a part of the show for the next few weeks before we get ready for the season to start. And anyway, that's what we got going on. So right now, that's where it stands. Please like and share our show. We enjoy doing this, and we really appreciate everybody's support.
I don't know. If we didn't have, what would we do, Jack? We wouldn't even be friends, Jack.
Are we friends now?
That's up for debate. We're acquaintances.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Oh, and Becky did bring up a point that I think I didn't mention before.
What did Becky say?
About the shirt she had. She said she didn't understand how my head looked right and yours looked like it was like it was a cartoon.
It was trying to match the size of your head, is what it is. Because mine's little, and it was trying to match yours, so it just come out that way.
Is that what it is? Chase Burrow, we appreciate having you on the show too. Chase Burrow Motorsports, appreciate having you on there. Sorry you had to bring Chris on here with you, but anyway, he's all right. And we need to get Aaron to get to work on getting y'all some more sponsors. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna get with her again and tell her she needs to get to work on it, get her some. And she said to send her the stuff and she'd be doing the stuff for us. So I need to start sending it to her. Just send it to her. I've been trying to be nice about it, I know she's busy.
Why are you starting to be nice now for?
Well, it happens every now and then. I try to be nice every now and then. I mean, there's people like you and Becky and Mom. It's hard to be nice to y'all.
It's not that difficult.
It's hard to be nice. Anyway, all right, that's our show for tonight. We'll see you again next week, live from Langley Speedway. We'll talk to you then.